How's it going, folks? Shervin back uh, for kind of an oddball type video here. Um, you People will probably see it in the title. Um, so, a couple weekends ago, uh, my wife and I drove up to San Francisco, Bay Area, hung out for a couple days there, and we managed to get to Oakland, California, across the bay, to go to Groove Yard, which is owned and run by a gentleman named Rick Ballard. And yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure if this will make sense to to a lot of people, especially those who aren't really into jazz. But for people who have been collecting jazz, there's a good chance you know what I'm talking about here. So yeah, Groove Yard, Rick Ballard. Uh, this is at least the third, maybe fourth time I've been to this shop, and maybe the first time was like 20 years ago, something like that. And people who know what I'm talking about, because I've seen videos where people point out the Rick Ballard sticker. This is, by the way, what's playing in the background, this European Jazz Quintet at the live at the Moors Festival. So yeah, and this is one I picked up here on the recent trip. So you got these Rick Ballard stickers here, distributed by Rick Ballard Imports, P.O. Box such and such, Berkeley, California. And so over time, I accumulate these at various places, not just at his shop. And I've seen people point it out. I know Dave has pointed them out. I know Jim and we talk about it. Yeah, it has a Rick Ballard sticker. So yeah, one of the things I wanted to do when we went up this time is go to Groove Yard and check it out. And if anybody knows anything about this shop, it can be a mess, but a beautiful mess. And I was telling my wife, she had never been to this store. I was telling my wife on the drive up, actually Rick Ballard and his sticker were a big topic of conversation on the drive. She kept asking me questions about it, how to get into this, and these questions I didn't really know the answers to, but I pretended to know. So, and I kind of forewarned her too, like, look, this may not be a place you want to hang out in too long. But surprisingly, when we walked in there, it wasn't as much of a mess as it has been in the past. Everything seemed to be together. And when I say mess, it's not just the mess. Like everything, the bins, there are categories and it's alphabetized, but historically they're just stacks of records all over on tops of the bins. But this time it wasn't that bad. So yeah, I walked out with 3 albums with the Rick Ballard sticker, and I decided, let's just go through. From the best of my memory, I didn't really want to go through every single jazz record here. I think I have 9 or 10 with the sticker on it. And yeah, and so this is one I found, European Jazz Quintet with Alan Skidmore, tenor sax, 3 tenor saxophonists, Leszek Zadlo, Gerd Dudek, Ali Harand, and Pierre Courbois on drums. Harand plays bass, no piano. And the European aspect of it is there are a couple of players from Germany, from Poland, from Holland, and France makes up this group. So this was recorded, what year? It doesn't say, May of 77. So there's one Rick Ballard sticker. And actually my wife was pretty impressed with the store. He has more than jazz, obviously. She ended up getting, I think, 4 or 5 Patti Smith records for our daughter. And Rick Ballard was there. When we were checking out, we talked to him. My wife really engaged in conversation. She usually does more than I do. But yeah, I got a little lowdown on his whole thing. He started like 45 years ago, something like that. And actually, on this one, it was still sealed with the shrink wrap, that nice, I like that loose, soft shrink wrap. They're usually on imports, but the sticker, my wife noticed, has the sticker underneath the shrink wrap. And he was saying how when he would bring these albums back in the late 70s, early 80s from different countries in Europe, they weren't shrink wrapped. And he figured he can't sell them here in the States unless he shrink wraps them. So he ended up shrink wrapping them, but he put the stickers on first. Yeah, so there's that. And then I finally found this Hamiet Blewett Resolution with Don Pullen, Fred Hopkins, Billy Hart, and Don Moy, 1978. One I've been wanting for a while. And there's the Rick Ballard sticker. Hamiet Blewett. And another one I found there was this Dexter Gordon, Shadow of Your Smile. This is a steeplechase. Came out in 85, but recordings from 71 in Stockholm. April 21st, 1971. And there's a series of these Dexter Gordon steeplechase albums that came out in the 80s that are recordings from the early 70s. And I don't know if there's 3 or 4. One of them is King Neptune. I can't remember the titles of the other ones, but those are kind of hard to find. I really don't come across those. It's the first time I've seen this in person. So yeah, I picked this up, and there's this sticker there. Yeah, great stuff with a Swedish backing band, Lars Josten Sture Nordin and Fredrik Norin, piano, bass, drums. Shadow of Your Smile, Dexter Gordon. I always could go for some Dexter Gordon. So those are the 3 I bought this time, going up there. And some of the other ones here. I guess it was the summer last year, I went to this store nearby, Dr. Strange, which is more of a punk store, a little bit of metal, but mainly punk and thrash. I just decided to stop in there, and sometimes they have other things, but I noticed this time I had never seen before is 4 or 5 rows or bins of new arrivals. And I'm flipping through there, a lot of kind of common rock stuff and things like that. But I was noticing jazz kind of sprinkled out throughout these bins, and they were all $5, mostly from the '70s, '80s jazz. Yeah, so I ended up finding these two albums. Yeah, sorry for the glare. George Adams, Don Pullen Quartet, Earth Beams, and what was this one called? I think it's just called, oh no, Live at Montmartre on the Timeless label. Both on the Timeless label. This is from '80, and this is later. '86, recorded in '85, released in '86. And this adds guitarist John Scofield to the proceedings, along with Cameron Brown, Danny Richmond, Pullen, and Adams. And they both have the Rick Ballard stickers. Yeah, who would have thought at Doctor Strange I would have found these? I love this one. This one, I mean, it's okay. To me, Scofield, I almost feel like Scofield is unnecessary on this recording. And I like John Scofield. But yeah, two more. Rick Ballards. This is the only ECM I could find with the Rick Ballard sticker. This Julian Priester, Polarization, Julian Priester, and Marine Intrusion. There it is. And I listened to this not that long ago. Man, what a fabulous record. I mean, it just really flows. Priester is trombone, Ron Stallings, tenor and soprano sax, Ray Abiado, guitars, Curtis Clark on piano, Hashima Mark Williams, electric bass, and Augusta Lee Collins, drums. Yeah, this is a fantastic album. Rick Ballard Imports. We got another one here. Yeah, this copy of Eastern Rebellion on Timeless. There's the Rick Ballard. Cedar Walden, George Coleman, Sam Jones, Billy Higgins. I think a lot of jazz heads know this. They have this. Bolivia is a killer song, and Naima do a wonderful version of Naima. I like George Coleman. This is from recorded in '75. Yeah, George Coleman. I actually I feel like kind of goes under recognized are the George Coleman years with Miles Davis. Those recordings, I feel like I could listen to those recordings before most of the Wayne Shorter stuff. And a couple more here. So you might notice a lot of these are on the Timeless label, so I guess he was getting that. Timeless out of, I have a hard time. Oh, Holland. And this one is on the Japo label, Japo, out of Germany. It's Dollar brand, Ancient Africa. And there's the Rick Ballard. I don't remember where I got this, but this is recorded in Copenhagen, solo, Dollar brand, but he plays flute also as well as piano. Yeah, really nice ones from '72. Recorded in '72. Not sure what year it came out. Yeah, nice Dollar brand. And this one on the Freelance label. Marion Brown, Mal Waldron, Songs of Love and Regret. I think I've shown this a handful of times over the years. Just a duo album, alto sax, piano. Just really emotive stuff here. They do one hell of a version of McCoy Tyner's Contemplation from the Real McCoy, and Blue Monk, and some originals. To the Golden Lady and Her Graham Cracker Window, written by Marion Brown, and Flowers a Lovesome Thing, 8 minutes. And there's Rick Ballard sticker on the Freelance label. Is this also out of? I thought this was a French label, but I'm not sure. Yeah, 85. And the last one I have with the Rick Ballard sticker is this Miles and Coltrane, live in Stockholm, 1960, on Dragon, out of Sweden. And there it is. Double album. I think a lot of people know this. I got this maybe 20 years ago, somewhere in that range, but I was on the hunt for it for years until I came across a copy. And it wasn't that expensive, maybe for at the time, but it's funny because with this album, I mean, I was looking out for it for a number of years, and then after I finally found it, it seems like I started seeing it everywhere. And I still see it now and then. And I mean, relative to the way prices are now, it shouldn't go for that much, but this is an insane record. Coltrane is just pure fire, and this is some of Miles's best playing, I think. So I think Coltrane kind of revved up Miles a little in his playing, because Miles is usually subdued, but he's got some good fire on this. And this was recorded in March of 1960. I think the next month, April of 60, Coltrane left the group for good and started his own legacy. But yeah, Miles's repertoire didn't change it up too much with Coleman, George Coleman, Coltrane, Wayne Shorter. The songs on here, So What, on Green Dolphin Street, All Blues, Walkin', that's on a lot of his live albums. And side 2 ends with a 3.5 minute Coltrane interview and continues on side 3 for another 3 minutes. So there's about a five something minutes worth of interviews with Coltrane. The interviewer just asking him about his more musical things and the direction he's headed and things like that. Yeah, this is awesome. Dragon label. I think this was released in 1985. Did I show it? There it is. And we were talking, and I was asking him, I'm like, yeah, I've seen, I have some albums, it seems like the East Coast version of you, Zim Records out of Jericho, New York. There's this album, I showed this recently, but I have a few albums with this Zim Records sticker on it. And he was saying how, I can't remember the guy's first name, but the last name was Zimmerman, something Zimmerman. It was his, he actually had a label, which I had never heard of, never seen anything on a Zim label. But I have a few of these with the sticker, Zim Records Imports. Yeah, great album here. Talked about this a couple times from Chris. And just on the topic of stickers, I remember I have this Dave Holland Life Cycle on ECM, where it has not just one, but 2 stickers warning people, how old is your needle? Worn needles ruin records. Yeah, they wanted to emphasize the point so much they put it on there twice. Yeah, Dave Holland. This is a cello. He has another one on ECM. It's a solo bass, the green cover, Imperium something, where it's just all bass. I think I like his cello solo work a little better. But yeah. So don't forget, Worn Needles Ruin Records. So yeah, that was it. I didn't think I'd go on for 20 minutes. But yeah, I don't know if anybody would be up for doing this. I'm just curious to see how far just across the country or the globe these stickers have traveled, these albums with sticker on it. I know Buttery showed one, I can't remember if I already mentioned that, in New Zealand. But I think he got it in California, but now it's in New Zealand. So yeah, just kind of a curiosity thing, and what the hell video. That's it. Rick Ballard, Grooveyard, Oakland. It's a great store. And I actually found some good blues there too. Jazz, blues, rock, everything. Yeah, check it out. Everyone take care.